You might think the law of attraction is like flipping a magic switch, that the moment you think of something, it should instantly appear. But if that's how you see it, you're missing the truth that makes this practice truly powerful. Today, we're not just talking about manifesting faster or dreaming bigger. We're going to uncover the core misunderstanding that causes so many people to give up, feel frustrated, or even believe the law of attraction doesn't work. The truth is, the law of attraction is not a miracle. It's not a wish. It's not a shortcut to skip the challenges of life. It is a universal principle, just like gravity. And when you understand how to work with it, not against it, everything begins to shift. If you've been following this series, you've learned about the power of gratitude journaling and how a clear vision board can align your energy with your desires. But let's be honest, for many, the excitement fades quickly. You write in your journal for 3 days, visualize for a week, and then nothing. The doubt creeps in. You question if it's even real. And this is where most people turn away, right at the edge of transformation. In this video, I want to bring you back to the center, to ground you in the truth that the law of attraction is not a one-time event. It's a way of living, a mindset, a vibration that you carry into every single day. And that means it requires one thing above all: consistency, not perfection, not intensity. Just small, steady alignment repeated with faith and patience. You don't need to be high vibe every second of every day. You don't need to be flawless or pretend to be happy when you're not. But you do need to keep showing up. That's what this video is about. I'm going to help you shift your expectations. I'm going to help you fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. And I'm going to show you how to build a long-lasting practice that strengthens your inner alignment even when the outer world doesn't change right away. Because here's the real secret. Manifestation is a delayed mirror. What you see now is a reflection of past energy. What you're planting today with intention and clarity is shaping what's coming next. So if you quit too early, you interrupt the signal. You confuse the field. But when you persist with calm, with focus, with trust, even the impossible becomes natural. This episode will walk you through what it really means to stay committed to your vision, how to create a rhythm that works for you, and how to release the toxic belief that if it doesn't happen fast, it's not working. That lie has held too many people back for too long. And we're done with that today. The law of attraction is for those who are willing to align again and again, even when results are invisible, because they know the energy is never wasted. You will walk away from this video with a new mindset, one that honors the waiting, one that understands timing, one that sees your daily practices as sacred, and most importantly, one that knows your desires are not fantasy, they are direction. But that direction requires movement. And today, we begin that journey together. Let's move beyond the illusion. Let's unlock the truth behind the law of attraction. Stay with me, because what you'll learn next might just change everything. One of the biggest and most misleading myths about the law of attraction is the idea that all you have to do is think about something and it will magically appear. This belief has led countless people down a path of confusion and disappointment. It creates a mindset where people sit and wait for change without ever taking aligned action. The truth is, while thoughts are powerful and do play a crucial role in shaping your energetic frequency, they are only part of the equation. The law of attraction is not just about thinking. It's about becoming. It's about aligning your energy, your mindset, your emotions, and yes, your actions with the reality you want to experience. Thinking is the spark, but action is the vehicle. That allows what you desire to find its way into your physical world. Let's break this down. When you focus on a desire with clarity and belief, you begin to shift your vibration. That shift sends a signal to the field, a message that you are available for this experience. But if you stop there, if you never move toward it, if you never create space for it to land, you create resistance. You contradict the energy by staying still. Inspired action is not about working harder or forcing results. It's not about controlling everything or checking off endless to-do lists. It's about listening. It's about tuning into your inner guidance, your intuition, your subtle nudges. It's about feeling pulled toward something, a conversation, a phone call, a new direction, a small decision, and saying yes to it without hesitation. The law of attraction responds to frequency, not fantasy. And your frequency is reflected through your behavior. If you say you want to find love, but never leave the house, if you say you want abundance, but constantly affirm lack, if you say you want a new career, but never explore the opportunities in front of you, your vibration and your vision are out of sync. That's why action matters. Not because action creates the result alone, but because aligned action affirms the belief. It shows the universe that you are serious. It shows your subconscious that you are ready. And it opens doors you could never predict through thought alone. The myth that thinking is enough leads to passivity. It creates frustration when nothing changes. And worse, it makes people doubt the law of attraction itself. But what if the truth is that the law of attraction was working the entire time, and it was your inaction that delayed the outcome? This isn't about blame. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about realizing that you are a co-creator. That while the universe is always responding to your vibration, it also responds to momentum. It responds to trust in motion. Action is the bridge between the non-physical and the physical. It's the step that transforms vision into visibility. But again, this action must come from alignment, not anxiety. You don't need to hustle or chase. You need to move from belief, from clarity, from excitement. Even a small step taken with the right energy is more powerful than 100 steps taken in fear. This is why tuning into your inner state is so important. If you feel inspired to reach out to someone, to start a new project, to change your routine, that's not random. That's guidance. That's your energy aligning with a new timeline. And when you honor that inner pull, you begin to see synchronicities, opportunities, and breakthroughs appear in ways you could never plan. So let go of the myth that thinking is everything. Let go of the idea that sitting in meditation alone will bring your dreams to life. Meditation is important. Visualization is powerful. Gratitude is transformative. But without movement, you stay in the realm of potential. To turn potential into reality, you must step forward. You must become the version of yourself who already lives that reality and ask yourself, what would that version of me do today? How would they speak? Where would they go? Who would they connect with? What would they stop tolerating? These questions lead to inspired action, and inspired action leads to alignment. This is how you shift timelines, not just by thinking differently, but by acting from that new frequency. Your life is a mirror. It reflects not just what you think, but what you embody. So if you want different results, embody a different vibration. Let your actions become the proof of your belief. Let your choices reflect the future you're calling in. And remember, the universe is always ready. The question is, are you? If you've been waiting for a sign to start, to move, to try again, this is it. Trust your vision, take the step, and watch how quickly the path begins to unfold. Another common and damaging misconception about the law of attraction is the belief that it's a get-rich-quick scheme or a tool for instant gratification. This mindset turns a powerful universal principle into a shallow promise of overnight success, and that misunderstanding can do more harm than good. The truth is, the law of attraction does not operate on your personal timeline. It operates on alignment, readiness, and divine timing. The kind of timing that aligns not just with your desire, but with the growth and preparation needed to fully receive and sustain that desire. When people expect instant results, they set themselves up for disappointment. They start strong, full of energy and intention, but when nothing shows up within a few days or weeks, doubt begins to creep in. They question whether the process works. They wonder if they did something wrong. They lose trust, not because the law of attraction failed, but because their expectations were not aligned with reality. Manifestation is not magic. It's momentum. And just like planting a seed, there is a gestation period. You don't plant a seed and expect a tree the next morning. You water it, you nurture it, you give it sunlight and space, and most of all, you trust the process. The same is true with your desires. There is always movement happening behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. Energy is being rearranged. Opportunities are being aligned. Lessons are being introduced to prepare you. And most importantly, your identity is being shaped to match the frequency of what you asked for. If the manifestation came too soon, before you were emotionally or energetically ready, it could collapse just as quickly as it arrived. That's not delay. That's protection. That's intelligence. The universe is not withholding your desires to punish you. It is waiting for the exact moment when you are aligned, aware, and anchored enough to receive fully and responsibly. When people chase instant success, they often skip the inner transformation. They want the result without the recalibration. They want the manifestation without the mastery. But the law of attraction is not a vending machine. It's a mirror. It reflects what you truly believe, what you consistently feel, and how you energetically show up over time. The universe rewards integrity. It responds to consistency. It aligns with clarity, not urgency. So if your energy is rushing, forcing, or demanding results, you are often pushing your desire further away. Why? Because that energy communicates fear, lack, and control. And that frequency is misaligned with abundance, trust, and ease. Patience is not about waiting passively. It's about holding your frequency with confidence. It's about choosing belief again and again, even when the outer world looks unchanged. It's about knowing that just because you can't see it yet, doesn't mean it's not happening. Imagine building a skyscraper. The higher it will rise, the deeper the foundation must go. That part takes time. It's unseen. It's messy. But it's essential. You are that foundation. And if you want a reality that lasts, that expands, that fulfills you deeply, you must allow the time it takes to build something meaningful. This is where faith becomes your greatest tool. Not blind hope, but real, grounded faith. The kind that shows up daily with calm and commitment. The kind that doesn't need to see instant proof to keep believing. The kind that knows energy is never wasted when it comes from the right place. Quick success stories may be glamorous, but they're not always stable. True manifestation is sustainable. It grows with you. It evolves as you evolve. And often, the journey itself delivers far more than the destination ever could. You begin to realize that the waiting was never punishment. It was preparation. It was your becoming. It was your transformation into someone who not only receives the vision, but lives it with power, purpose, and peace. So release the timeline. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the lie that faster is better. The universe knows what it's doing. And when you align with divine timing, you will receive far more than you ever imagined. Not just in quantity, but in depth, in richness, in resonance. Your job is not to force the outcome. Your job is to stay in the energy of belief, to keep nurturing your vision with clarity, gratitude, and joy, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The law of attraction is not about rushing. It's about resonating. It's about holding the vibration of what you desire until it becomes natural, until it becomes you. And that takes time. But that time is not empty. It is sacred. It is where the real work happens. It's where you become the version of yourself who no longer just wants something, but lives it, breathes it, and embodies it fully. That is true manifestation. That is lasting success. And that is what you're here for. So the next time impatience rises, remember the truth. You are not waiting. You are aligning. You are preparing. You are building something that will not only arrive, it will stay. One of the most dangerous misconceptions about the law of attraction is the belief that you can simply sit still, do nothing, and wait for your dreams to appear out of thin air. This passive mindset not only disempowers you, but also contradicts the very essence of how the law of attraction truly works. Manifestation is not a spectator sport. It is a co-creative process that demands your full engagement, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. The law of attraction responds to your vibration, and your vibration is influenced not just by what you think, but by how you feel, how you act, how you move through the world each day. To attract what you desire, you must become an active participant in your own transformation. This means focusing your mind with clarity, aligning your heart with emotion, and taking steps that reflect the reality you want to live in. Sitting in a room, hoping for a miracle, is not alignment. Waiting without preparation is not faith. It is hesitation disguised as belief. And the universe does not respond to hesitation. It responds to clarity, consistency, and courageous movement. The law of attraction is not about doing everything. It is about doing what matters, what is aligned, what feels expansive, what reflects your desired state of being. Think of it like tuning a radio. You cannot hear the music until you turn the dial to the right frequency. Similarly, you cannot experience your desired reality until your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in tune with it. That tuning process is not passive. It requires you to notice your patterns, to shift your self-talk, to regulate your emotions, and to act with intention. Every time you choose gratitude instead of complaint, presence instead of distraction, courage instead of fear, you are participating in the process. You are telling the universe, through your being, that you are ready. And readiness is not proven by wishing. It is proven by action. There is a profound difference between inspired stillness and passive inaction. Inspired stillness is when you pause to listen, when you meditate to align, when you rest to restore, all with conscious purpose. Passive inaction is when you avoid growth, delay decisions, or wait for life to change without taking responsibility. The law of attraction requires emotional energy. It requires focus, commitment, and self-awareness, not to earn your desire, but to match it, to meet it on the same level of frequency. Because the truth is, your current reality is a reflection of your past level of alignment. If you want to experience something new, you must begin to feel, think, and act in a new way. That shift is your responsibility. It cannot be outsourced. You cannot manifest abundance while embodying scarcity. You cannot manifest love while radiating unworthiness. You cannot manifest clarity while choosing confusion. Every manifestation starts with you, not your words alone, but your energy, your integrity, your willingness to evolve. The law of attraction is always working, but the question is, are you? Are you truly showing up for the life you say you want? Are you creating the internal space to receive it? Are you willing to release what no longer matches your vision, even if it feels familiar or safe? These are not passive questions. They are activators. They are invitations to rise, to engage, to commit. Because manifestation is not about doing nothing. It is about doing what aligns with who you are becoming. And often, That means facing your fears, shifting your habits, and letting go of excuses. It means saying yes to growth, even when it's uncomfortable. It means believing in a future you cannot yet see and behaving as if it is already here. That level of embodiment is not accidental. It is intentional, and it is powerful. You are not here to wait for change. You are here to become the change, to walk in the frequency of what you desire, not occasionally, but consistently. And while that path may require effort, it is effort infused with purpose, with energy, with vision. It is not hard work in the traditional sense. It is heart work, it is soul work, and it is the kind of effort that awakens dormant parts of you and unlocks potentials you never knew you had. The law of attraction is not passive. It is participatory. It calls you to rise above your patterns, to step into your power, and to choose alignment every single day. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. That is where your power is refined. That is where your reality begins to shift. Not by accident, not by chance, but by conscious design. So let go of the myth that you can think your way into a new life without engaging with it. Let go of the illusion that sitting still and waiting is a strategy for transformation. Instead, step forward with intention, with clarity, with emotional truth, and with the knowing that the universe moves in response to your movement. You are not just a dreamer. You are a builder of energy, a transmitter of possibility, a vessel through which the invisible becomes real. And every moment you choose to participate, to align, to embody, you activate that truth. You align not just with the law of attraction, but with your highest potential. That is not something you wait for. That is something you become. One of the most misunderstood ideas about the law of attraction is the belief that you must be positive 100% of the time in order to manifest what you want. This misconception has created unnecessary pressure, emotional guilt, and a false standard of perfection that no human being can live up to. The truth is, you are not a robot. You are not meant to suppress your feelings or pretend that everything is fine when it is not. You are a human being with a wide range of emotions, and every one of them has value. The law of attraction is not about rejecting negativity. It is about becoming aware of your emotional state and choosing how you respond to it. Emotions are energy, and energy needs to move. When you deny your sadness, suppress your anger, or ignore your fear, you do not raise your vibration. You block it. You create resistance, and resistance disconnects you from alignment. What truly matters is not whether you feel happy all the time. What matters is how you relate to your emotions. Do you judge yourself for having a bad day? Or do you allow the feeling to pass through you without attachment? Do you label certain emotions as wrong? Or do you give yourself the grace to be human? The law of attraction responds to your dominant vibration, not every single passing thought or emotion. This means that you can have a moment of frustration, a wave of grief, or a spark of fear, and it will not sabotage your manifestation unless you hold on to it, feed it, and let it become your identity. It is okay to feel low sometimes. It is okay to cry. It is okay to rest. Emotional authenticity is not weakness. It is strength. It is awareness. And it is the foundation of true alignment. When you allow your emotions without judgment, you create space for healing. You release pressure. You create safety within yourself. And in that safety, your energy begins to rise naturally. You return to alignment not by force, but by permission, by allowing yourself to feel and then choose. Not react, choose. That is emotional mastery. And that is where real manifestation begins. The pressure to be positive all the time is not only unrealistic, it is harmful. It creates a spiritual bypass where people avoid their pain, deny their shadows, and live in a state of emotional disconnection. But the law of attraction is not about faking joy. It is about finding peace. It is about learning how to stabilize your energy over time, not suppress it in the moment. Imagine trying to build a house while ignoring a crack in the foundation. You can decorate the walls with affirmations and vision boards, but if the foundation is weak, the structure will eventually collapse. Your emotional well-being is that foundation, and it needs truth, not perfection. It needs presence, not pressure. So if you feel sad, let yourself feel it. If you feel lost, admit it. If you feel angry, explore it. But do not build your home there. Feel it, honor it, and then ask, what would alignment look like right now? Not forced positivity, not fake. Smiles, but genuine care. A breath, a pause, a shift. That is emotional movement. And that movement creates momentum. The law of attraction does not punish you for having bad days. It does not block your desires because you cried last night or felt anxious this morning. It simply mirrors your overall state. And your state is shaped by how you process, not how you perform. You are allowed to be real. You are allowed to be raw. And you are still worthy of receiving everything you desire. Your emotions do not disqualify you. They are part of your power. When you learn to ride the wave instead of fighting it, you build resilience. When you learn to sit with discomfort without becoming it, you create spaciousness. And in that spaciousness, clarity returns. Alignment returns. And from that place, you magnetize what truly matches your soul. So release the myth of constant positivity. Embrace the truth of conscious presence. Embrace the full range of your emotional experience without guilt or shame. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. That is maturity. And that is what the law of attraction truly honors. It does not ask you to fake a frequency. It asks you to feel your way into a new one with honesty and love. It asks you to return again and again to the energy that feels like home. And sometimes the path back home includes tears, silence, or stillness. That's okay. Because every time you choose to return instead of escape, you strengthen your alignment. You build inner trust, and that trust is magnetic. That trust tells the universe, I am ready. I am grounded. I am available. Not because I'm perfect, but because I am present. So the next time you feel something heavy, don't push it away. Don't fear that you've ruined your progress. Instead, breathe, acknowledge, and remember, emotional honesty is the bridge back to energetic clarity. You are not here to be positive all the time. You are here to be conscious. You are here to feel deeply, live fully, and rise steadily. That is what makes your vibration powerful. Not perfection, but presence. Not suppression, but self-awareness. And in that awareness, everything shifts. The law of attraction is very much like planting a seed. You begin with intention, the seed of a desire planted deep within your mind and heart. But planting is just the beginning. Just as a seed does not become a tree overnight, your desire does not manifest the moment it is born. It needs care. It needs patience. It needs your consistent, conscious participation. When you plant a seed in the soil, you do not stand over it, demanding that it grow instantly. You do not dig it up every hour to check if it is sprouting. You trust the process. You water it. You make sure it has sunlight. You protect it from weeds. And most importantly, you give it time. The same is true with manifestation. Your intention is the seed. Your practices, like visualization, affirmations, gratitude journaling, are the water. Your belief is the sunlight that nurtures it. And your patience is the space that allows it to grow. The law of attraction responds to this kind of steady, grounded participation. It rewards consistency, not intensity. Many people get excited at first, They set an intention with great energy, maybe even practice for a few days, and then they expect results immediately. But when nothing appears right away, they become discouraged. They question everything. They stop watering the seed. And in doing so, they interrupt the entire process. Manifestation is not about force. It is about flow. But even flow requires rhythm. It requires showing up day after day, even when there is no visible proof that anything is changing. The magic is happening underground. Roots are forming. Energy is aligning. The foundation is being built. And when you are consistent in your vibration, your mindset, and your emotional state, the seed begins to rise. Not because you pushed it, but because you allowed it to unfold naturally. This is why persistence matters. Because most people give up right before the breakthrough. They don't see results, so they stop showing up. They abandon the vision too early. But if you can hold your energy just a little longer, if you can keep nurturing the seed without demanding that it bloom, you will witness something extraordinary. Growth that is real, manifestation that is stable, transformation that is lasting. The law of attraction works best when you treat your desires like a sacred garden. Every thought is a seed. Every emotion is nourishment. Every action is a signal. And every moment of patience is an act of trust. Your job is not to force the harvest. Your job is to tend to the soil, to keep the environment healthy, to align yourself daily with what you wish to create. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be high vibe every second. But you do need to keep showing up with love, with clarity, and with presence. That is how the universe knows. You are ready. That is how you prove to yourself that your vision is worth the wait. Imagine if a farmer planted a tree and gave up after a week because it hadn't yet produced fruit. It sounds absurd. And yet, many people do this with their goals. They set the intention, and then when things don't shift immediately, they walk away. But energy needs time to crystallize into matter. Frequency needs space to become form. And just because you don't see results, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. The most important parts of the process are often invisible. Just like a tree needs time underground before it can stand tall in the sky, you need time to align, to grow, and to evolve into the version of you that can receive and hold what you asked for. The law of attraction is not slow. It is precise. It gives you exactly what matches your energy. And if what you desire hasn't shown up yet, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because the timing is still unfolding. Your alignment is still deepening. Your roots are still being formed. And when the time is right, the bloom will be undeniable. So trust the process. Stay the course. Water your vision every day with belief, with presence, and with inspired action. Let your consistency become your signal. Let your trust become your foundation. And most importantly, know that the fruit is coming. Not because you forced it, but because you stayed faithful. You became the gardener. You nurtured the energy. And now, it's only a matter of time before the harvest arrives. This is the power of consistency. This is the importance of showing up even when no one is watching. Even when your outer world looks unchanged. That is when the inner shift is most powerful. That is when you are closest to breakthrough. So hold your vision like a seed. Water it with your attention. Shine belief upon it daily. And wait, not with frustration, but with quiet confidence. Because the law of attraction is always responding. And when you persist in alignment, the results are inevitable. Manifestation is a skill, and like any skill, it requires repetition, consistency, and training. Think of it like building a muscle. You do not go to the gym once and expect a complete transformation. You show up daily. You lift the weight. You increase the resistance. You push your limits. And over time, your body responds. The same is true when working with the law of attraction. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs are the energetic muscles that shape your reality. If you want to strengthen your ability to attract, you must build your manifestation muscle through daily practice. This means committing to the simple yet powerful rituals that rewire your brain and shift your vibration. Practices like visualization, affirmation, and gratitude journaling are not random feel-good exercises. They are tools that activate your nervous system, redirect your focus, and create lasting patterns in your subconscious mind. When you visualize your goals each morning with clarity and emotion, you are telling your brain that this new reality is safe, familiar, and desirable. You begin to filter the world through that lens. You notice new opportunities. You respond differently to challenges. You embody the energy of the outcome even before it arrives. This is not magic. It is neuroscience. Your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you repeat a vision often enough with feeling and consistency, you create new neural pathways. You strengthen the signal. You make your future feel real in the present moment. And from that state of alignment, your external reality begins to reflect your inner belief. The same goes for affirmations. When you speak empowering truths to yourself, even before you fully believe them, you begin to shift your internal dialogue. You interrupt the old stories of doubt, fear, and limitation, and you install new scripts of possibility, power, and self-worth. Repeating affirmations daily may seem simple, but over time, it creates a profound shift in your identity. You go from hoping to believing, from reacting to creating, from survival mode to expansion. And when you pair affirmations with gratitude, you amplify the effect. Gratitude is the emotional signature of receiving. When you feel thankful for what you already have and for what is on its way, you create a vibrational match for abundance. You tell the universe, I am ready. I am open. I am in harmony with the good I seek. Daily gratitude rewires your focus. It trains your mind to look for what is working, what is beautiful, what is growing. And that focus becomes fuel. It creates momentum. It builds faith. And faith is magnetic. The key to all of this is repetition, not perfection, not intensity, just simple, consistent effort. The law of attraction does not require you to be perfect. It asks you to be present, to return again and again to your desired vibration until it becomes second nature, until it becomes who you are. Just like lifting a weight over time builds muscle, repeating aligned thoughts and feelings builds energetic strength. At first, it may feel awkward. You might feel resistance. You might doubt if it's working. But if you stay with the process, your energy begins to shift. Your confidence grows. Your clarity deepens. And eventually, you no longer have to try to feel aligned. You simply are. That is when manifestation becomes natural. Not forced, not fabricated, but effortless. Because your energy is now a match for what you desire. Your nervous system is no longer sabotaging your progress. Your mind is no longer arguing with your vision. And your daily practices have become a foundation of truth, not just hope. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. A few minutes of aligned practice every day is more powerful than a burst of effort once a month. Small habits compound. Repetition creates mastery, and mastery creates certainty. Certainty is the vibration of having. When you know something is yours, you stop questioning, you stop chasing, you start embodying. That shift is what moves your desires from concept to reality. It's not about doing more, it's about becoming more aligned. And that alignment is built through practice, through showing up when it's easy and especially when it's not, through choosing your focus, your emotions, and your thoughts with intention. Each day you visualize, each time you affirm, each moment you feel genuine gratitude, you are training your brain, expanding your field, and reinforcing the belief that you are the creator of your experience. Over time, this becomes your baseline. Not a technique you apply occasionally, but a way of living, a way of being. And in that being, you begin to attract with ease, because you are no longer trying to manifest. You are simply aligned. So if you want to build your manifestation muscle, don't wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are. Choose one practice. Commit to it for a few minutes each day. Let it become a sacred space for connection. Let it remind you of who you are and what you are capable of. And watch how your energy begins to shift. Watch how your outer life begins to reflect the inner strength you've built. The law of attraction rewards consistency. And the most powerful, transformation comes not from what you do once, but from what you choose to do daily. That choice is your power. That repetition is your momentum. And that momentum is what turns dreams into reality. One of the most important lessons when working with the law of attraction is learning how to manage your expectations with wisdom, patience, and trust. So often, people enter the manifestation process with very specific timelines and rigid ideas of how things should unfold. They visualize a certain outcome, they affirm their desires, and they expect results to show up in the exact form and timing they imagined. But the universe operates with a far greater intelligence than our conscious minds can comprehend. It sees the whole picture. It understands your growth, your readiness, your energetic alignment, and the most harmonious path for your evolution. When things don't happen the way you planned, it does not mean they are not happening. It simply means the timing or the method is different, and often better than what you originally expected. This is where your power lies. In your ability to surrender attachment, to form and trust in the process. The law of attraction is not a vending machine where you insert your desires and receive instant outcomes. It is a dynamic co-creation that involves timing, energy, preparation, and sometimes redirection. What you think is a delay may be a divine setup. What you perceive as rejection may be redirection toward something far more aligned. When you release control over the how and the when, you create space for the universe to deliver in ways that surprise and uplift you. Managing expectations does not mean lowering your standards or settling. It means staying open. It means allowing your vision to evolve. It means trusting that if something hasn't arrived yet, there's either more to learn, more to align, or something greater being prepared behind the scenes. When you stay fixated on a narrow version of success, you might miss the blessings that are already trying to reach you from another direction. Flexibility is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the awareness that the process of becoming is just as valuable as the outcome. So instead of asking, why hasn't it happened yet? Ask, who am I becoming in the process of waiting? What lessons am I learning? What inner strength am I developing? These questions bring you back to the present moment. They shift your focus from frustration to growth, from impatience to inner peace. And in that shift, your energy softens, your resistance dissolves, and manifestation accelerates. Trusting in divine timing is one of the most powerful energetic alignments you can carry, because it tells the universe, I am not desperate. I am not in lack. I am not trying to force an outcome. I am aligned, I am ready, and I am allowing. This vibration of allowing is the gateway to receiving. When you stop trying to control the process and start appreciating it, you begin to see magic in the moments. You start to notice signs, synchronicities, and subtle nudges that were invisible before. You recognize that every step has purpose. Every pause has meaning, and every delay is a divine adjustment. This is why it is essential to fall in love with the process, not just the result. When you enjoy the journey, the visualization, the affirmations, the self-reflection, the emotional healing, you create a state of joy that attracts more of what you desire. You stop chasing outcomes and start embodying the frequency of fulfillment. And when you feel fulfilled now, without needing anything to change, that's when everything begins to shift. Because the law of attraction responds to your dominant vibration. If your dominant vibration is need, worry, or impatience, you reinforce the absence of what you want. But if your dominant vibration is trust, gratitude, and presence, you magnetize abundance in all its forms. So ask yourself, am I focused on the result, or am I engaged with the process? Am I appreciating who I am becoming, or only valuing what I am waiting to receive? These are not just reflective questions. They are energetic recalibrations. They bring you back to alignment. They remind you that manifestation is not about chasing. It is about allowing. And allowing comes from trusting. Trusting the timing. Trusting the intelligence of the universe. Trust in your own path, even when it looks different than expected. When you manage your expectations with maturity, you set yourself free. You no longer live in a constant state of waiting. You live in a state of becoming. You begin to enjoy the small wins, the inner shifts, the quiet breakthroughs. And you recognize that every moment is part of the unfolding. There is no wasted time. There is only alignment or resistance. And when you choose alignment, you accelerate the process in ways that are invisible to the logical mind, but undeniable to the soul. The law of attraction is not about forcing outcomes. It is about tuning your energy. It is about holding the vision with faith, showing up with consistency, and letting go with grace. It is about dancing with life, not fighting against its rhythm. So take a deep breath. Let go of the tight grip on how things must happen. Open your heart to infinite possibilities. Stay grounded in your daily practices. Stay loyal to your inner work. And remember that the universe is never late. It is always right on time. Not your time, divine time. And divine timing delivers not just what you asked for, but what your soul truly needs. When you trust that, everything begins to flow. Everything begins to align. And you discover that the journey itself was the manifestation all along. Doubt is a natural part of the journey, especially when you are working with the law of attraction and stepping into a new way of living, thinking, and believing. It is completely normal to have moments when you question if your practices are working, if your desires are possible, or if you are doing something wrong. But having doubt does not mean you have failed. It means you are human. It means you are growing beyond your comfort zone, and your old belief systems are being challenged. And that challenge is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to go deeper. The key is to recognize doubt for what it is, a temporary emotional response, not a reflection of the truth. When doubt shows up, you have a choice. You can feed it with fear, or you can meet it with awareness. You can spiral into discouragement, or you can pause and redirect your focus. The law of attraction is not about being perfect. It is about being present. Present enough to witness your thoughts without judgment. Present enough to feel your emotions without drowning in them. Present enough to remember that one bad day does not erase all the progress you have made. Your power is not in never feeling doubt. Your power is in not letting doubt define you. One of the greatest things you can do when doubt arises is to normalize it. Remind yourself that even the most aligned people have moments of uncertainty. Even the strongest minds face inner resistance. What sets them apart is not the absence of doubt, but the ability to observe it, learn from it, and move through it. When you feel discouraged, pause, breathe, ask yourself, what am I focusing on right now? Am I telling a story of failure, or am I anchoring myself in trust? Am I reacting to the outer world, or am I reconnecting to my inner knowing? These questions bring you back to the center. They remind you that doubt is not the enemy. It is a signal, a reminder to return to alignment, to recalibrate your energy, to recommit to your vision, even in the absence of evidence. Because the truth is, the law of attraction is always working. It is responding to your dominant frequency, not your occasional thoughts. So one moment of doubt, one bad mood, one off day does not destroy your progress. What matters is how quickly you recover, how quickly you remember, how quickly you return. Just like in fitness, missing one workout does not erase your strength. Eating one unhealthy meal does not ruin your health. The same is true for your manifestation practice. What counts is consistency over time, not perfection in every moment. When you accept this, you become resilient. You stop beating yourself up for being human, and you start trusting the long-term process more than the short-term result. That trust is what keeps you going. That trust is what builds momentum. And that trust is what transforms doubt into faith. One of the most powerful tools you can use in moments of discouragement is self-compassion. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a close friend. Encourage yourself gently. Remind yourself of how far you've come. Revisit your vision. Reread your affirmations. Reflect on past moments when things worked out better than you expected. These small acts of remembrance help stabilize your energy. They reconnect you to your why, and they help you see doubt not as a failure, but as part of the emotional landscape of transformation. Every great shift comes with moments of uncertainty. That is not a flaw. It is a feature of growth. It means you are leaving behind an old identity and stepping into something new. And with every step, your confidence will grow, your clarity will deepen, and your faith will expand. So do not let one bad day convince you that your practice is broken. Do not let one wave of doubt drown the truth of what you know in your heart. Instead, come back to your tools. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. And remember that the universe is not judging your emotions. It is responding to your energy. And that energy is always something you can shift, not by force, but by choice. By choosing to see doubt as a temporary cloud, not a permanent storm. By choosing to return to trust, even if it is quiet, even if it is small, even if it is just a whisper. That whisper is enough. That decision is powerful. And every time you make it, you reinforce your alignment. You remind yourself of who you really are, a creator, not a victim, a leader of your vibration, not a prisoner of circumstance. And with that reminder, you reclaim your path. So let doubt come and let it go. Let it rise and let it pass. But do not let it stay. Do not let it speak louder than your vision. Do not let it take the wheel. You are stronger than that. You are more aware than that. And you are ready for more. Keep going. Keep trusting. Keep returning. Because your breakthrough is always closer than it feels. And one day, you will look back and realize that the moments you almost gave up were the exact moments where your growth was most powerful. Let that be your reason to hold on. Let that be your reason to believe again. What many people label as failure or delay in the process of manifestation is often something far more meaningful. It is not a punishment. It is not a sign that the law of attraction is broken. It is a signal, a checkpoint, a sacred opportunity to pause, reflect, and realign. When things don't go as planned, when your desires feel far away, or when life throws unexpected challenges into your path, it is easy to fall into frustration or self-doubt. But what if these very moments are your greatest teachers? What if the delays you experience are not detours, but redirections? What if every so-called failure is actually an invitation to refine your clarity, to examine your beliefs, and to deepen your trust? The universe is not just giving you what you ask for, it is preparing you to receive it fully. And sometimes, that preparation comes in the form of reflection, of slowing down, of adjusting your frequency before the next level is revealed. When something doesn't manifest as quickly as you expected, instead of giving up, ask yourself, what is this showing me? Where am I still out of alignment? What fears are being triggered? What old belief is asking to be healed? These are powerful questions, not because they lead to immediate results, but because they lead to deeper self-awareness. And self-awareness is the foundation of transformation. Every delay is a mirror. It shows you where your energy is still split. It reveals where your vision may be unclear, or where your actions may be out of sync with your desires. This is not failure. This is feedback. And feedback is a gift. It gives you the chance to realign before you manifest something you are not yet prepared to hold. When you embrace this perspective, your relationship with failure transforms. You stop fearing it. You stop resisting it. You begin to see it as part of the journey, as a necessary step in becoming the version of yourself who can fully receive what you are calling in. Sometimes, what looks like a setback is actually the clearing of old energy. Sometimes, it is the crumbling of what no longer serves you so that something better can take its place. And sometimes, it is simply life giving you space to rest before your next breakthrough. If you've taken a break from your law of attraction practice, that does not mean you have failed. That does not mean you have to start over. It means you are human. It means your energy needed to recalibrate. And the most important thing you can do after a pause is to return with renewed clarity, not with guilt. Guilt lowers your vibration. Recommitment raises it. So come back gently. Reconnect with your vision. Revisit your why. And let your practice be a space of nourishment, not pressure. You don't have to make up for lost time. You only have to realign with the present moment, because the present is where all your power lives. Use what you've learned from the challenges. Use what you've discovered about your patterns, your triggers, and your inner dialogue. Let every experience shape your clarity. Let every delay deepen your desire. And let every misstep become a reminder that you are still on the path. Growth is not linear. Manifestation is not a straight line. It is a spiral, a dance, a process of expansion and contraction. And within that process, rest is sacred, reflection is necessary, and return is powerful. When you come back to your law of attraction practice after a period of doubt or distance, you are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. You are wiser. You are more aware. You are more prepared to align with your desire in a grounded and authentic way. This is the beauty of conscious creation. You are never truly behind. You are always being guided. You are always being refined. And you are always welcome to return with new eyes, with a clearer heart, with a stronger sense of purpose. So let go of the need to rush. Let go of the belief that delay means denial. And instead, lean into the wisdom that every moment, even the messy ones, is part of your expansion. Your desire is not just about what you want to receive. It is about who you are becoming along the way. And sometimes, the lessons in the waiting are the most powerful gifts of all, because they shape your character. They build your resilience. They help you release what no longer belongs. And they make space for something greater to enter. This is not failure. This is evolution. This is refinement. This is the real work of conscious manifestation. To keep showing up with love, even when results are not immediate. To keep trusting the process, even when it doesn't look how you imagined. And to keep believing in your vision, even when the world around you gives you reasons to doubt. That is the energy that moves mountains. That is the vibration that shifts timelines. And that is the path of true alignment. So if you faced delay, if you've felt stuck, if you've questioned your journey, know this: you are not off track. You are being shaped. You are being guided. And you are being called to go deeper. Not to force results, but to embody the frequency of what you desire so fully that it becomes inevitable. Let every setback become your setup for expansion. Let every challenge become your confirmation that growth is happening. And let every return to your practice be filled with grace, with courage, and with a renewed sense of purpose. Because you are not starting over, you are starting again from a higher place. And that makes all the difference. Unshakable faith is not something you are born with. It is something you build, one experience at a time. When you walk the path of manifestation, especially using the law of attraction, there will be moments when doubt whispers, when results feel distant, and when your mind tries to convince you that it's safer to settle. But those are the very moments when faith matters most. Faith is not blind belief. It is a decision to trust in what you cannot yet see, based on a deeper, knowing that the energy you emit is shaping the reality you will eventually experience. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen this kind of inner faith is to look back and remind yourself of all the times things worked out for you in the past. Think about the moments when something you needed arrived just in time, or when an unexpected opportunity came after a period of struggle. Think about the goals you once had that are now your current reality. These moments are not random. They are evidence. They are proof that your intentions have power, that your energy influences outcomes, and that the universe responds when you align. Keep a journal of these past manifestations. Write down every story, every synchronicity, every small or large breakthrough. This becomes your library of personal miracles. And on days when your faith feels shaky, return to those pages. Let them remind you that progress is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Another way to nurture unshakable belief is to seek out the success stories of others. Read about people who have used the law of attraction to transform their lives. Watch videos, listen to interviews, and surround yourself with content that reflects what is possible. These stories are not just motivational, they are mirrors. They show you what can happen when someone refuses to give up. They remind you that if it is possible for them, it is possible for you. When you see real people from all backgrounds manifesting love, health, abundance, purpose, and healing through alignment, you start to see the law of attraction not as an abstract idea, but as a living principle that can be applied by anyone who is willing to show up and believe. These stories rewire your brain. They expand your vision. They normalize the miraculous. And they help you shift from asking if it will happen to trusting that it already is. But belief becomes even stronger when it is shared. This is why connecting with a supportive community is so important. Manifestation can sometimes feel like a solitary journey, especially when the people around you do not understand the language of energy or the power of vibration. That is why finding a like-minded tribe can be a game changer. Whether it is a group online, a mastermind, a book club, a spiritual circle, or simply a few trusted friends who believe in conscious creation, being in a space where your vision is celebrated, not questioned, makes a world of difference. In these communities, you can share your wins without fear of judgment. You can express your challenges and receive encouragement. You can learn from others and be reminded that you are not alone. Human beings are wired for connection. And when you combine that connection with aligned energy, manifestation accelerates. It becomes more joyful, more natural, and more expansive. In moments of doubt, these communities can hold belief for you until you find your footing again. They can reflect your power back to you when you temporarily forget. And they can inspire you to dream bigger simply by showing you what is possible when you stay in the energy of faith. Faith is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing. which reality you want to give your energy to. When you focus on what's missing, you feed fear. When you focus on what is unfolding, you feed trust. And that trust becomes your magnet. It becomes the signal you send to the universe that says, I am ready. I am aligned. I believe. To build unshakable faith, you must also watch your internal language. Notice how you speak to yourself. Are you constantly doubting your worth, your timing, or your ability to receive? Or are you affirming your power, your vision, and your connection to universal intelligence? What you repeat becomes what you believe, and what you believe becomes what you attract. So choose thoughts that support your vision. Speak to yourself like someone who is already on the path. Let your inner dialogue become your inner sanctuary, a place of certainty, calm, and knowing. And remember, belief is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice, a moment-to-moment realignment. Every time you choose trust over fear, you are strengthening your belief muscle. Every time you choose presence over panic, you are creating space for clarity to return. Every time you choose to act as if your vision is already real, you are accelerating its arrival. So do not wait for perfect conditions to believe. Choose to believe now, not because of what you see, but because of what you know in your soul. You are not here to merely wish. You are here to embody, to walk with faith, to speak with conviction, to live in the vibration of your vision. And when you do that consistently, the universe has no choice but to meet you there. Faith is your fuel. It is your anchor. It is your bridge between the unseen and the seen. And it becomes unshakable when you nurture it daily, through remembrance, through stories, through connection, and through conscious choice. You are more powerful than you think. And when you align your belief with your desire, manifestation is not a question. It becomes a natural result of who you have chosen to become. The law of attraction is not a one-time technique. It is not a wish you make once and forget. It is a lifelong journey, a practice of conscious creation that requires your presence, your consistency, and your trust. What you have discovered in this video is the deeper truth that the law of attraction is not just about thinking positive thoughts or visualizing your dreams. It is about showing up every single day with commitment. It is about tending to your energy like a sacred garden. It is about aligning your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions with the life you are calling in. True manifestation is built through daily intention, emotional clarity, and unwavering belief. There will be moments of doubt. There will be delays. There will be days when you feel off track or question everything. But those moments are not your downfall. They are part of your awakening. They are opportunities to return stronger, clearer, and more grounded in your truth. You are not here to wait for life to change. You are here to participate in your transformation. You are the creator, the transmitter, and the receiver of your reality. And when you embrace this role with both humility and power, the universe meets you at your level of belief. Every affirmation you repeat, every visualization you practice, every time you express gratitude, you are laying another brick in the foundation of your desired future. And while you may not always see the results instantly, know that the energy is always working. The shift is always happening. The roots are always forming beneath the surface. You must stay the course. You must hold the vision. You must trust that what you desire is not just possible. It is already on its way to you in the most perfect form, in the most aligned timing. Because that is how the law of attraction works. Not on demand, but in harmony with who you are, becoming. So as we close this video, let this be a reminder. You are a powerful creator. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Your desire is valid. Your vision is real. And your consistency is the key that unlocks it. Now that you understand the importance of persistence, you may wonder, what happens when mental blocks arise? What should you do when fear, doubt, or negative energy pulls you off track? How do you stay elevated when your mind tries to bring you down? To answer these questions and help you stay energetically aligned, no matter what life throws your way, be sure to watch our next video, Resolving Mental Blocks and Staying in High Vibration with the Law of Attraction. It will guide you through the inner barriers that most people face and give you practical tools to maintain your emotional power. And now, we want to hear from you. How do you personally stay consistent with your Law of Attraction practice when results are slow? What rituals or reminders help you reconnect? Share your insights in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else who needs encouragement today. And if this video helped bring you clarity, motivation, or direction, please give it a like to support the channel. Subscribe so you never miss an update. We are here to grow with you, step by step, one intention at a time. The law of attraction is real. The energy is moving. The shift is already happening. And you, yes you, are the one in control. Keep believing, keep practicing, keep becoming, and we'll see you in the next video.